Hi, hello, hello. I'll start a little early since there's people in the stream. Let's see how we all are doing tonight. How are we? We all have a good day, good week to start to the week so far. I've been spotted. I do pay attention occasionally to my chat, not often, but sometimes. What you having good, Sage? I had tacos. Arby's? Now, frog. That's not healthy for you. Of course, this isn't either, so. Bought myself a new teleprompter. So I'm gonna use that to do some more reviews. Polythene the kitchen. Ooh, Asian chicken. That sounds good. So there's not much news, so it's really just us chatting. There's a few things that we'll go over. One of them I'll show too. Let's just start in with that. So first things first, let's get this off the plate. We don't have a guest this week, but we do next week. This week it's just me. Hope that's enough. Getting a guest every week would be tough. I think I can do it like once a month, maybe. And Mike's really busy, so it's just Mike's took on a new job and his kids are really sick, so so it's just me for now. I would love to get somebody else on and help me because talking to myself is not fun. That's why I'm glad you guys are communicating. So let's get this off the plate. First things first. Yeah, you guys heard the rumors. They're not true. D&D is not being sold to Tencent. But they didn't truly say it's being sold. Nowhere officially have they... Well, no, that's not true. They have come out officially and said it now. For the longest time, they officially were not coming out and saying it on any of them. They were... It was like... They said it. You know what, Sage? That would be perfectly fine. I'd be happy to just talk TTRPGs with you. I mean, that's what this is all about. This is just about us talking. Won't be next week because next week I have a guest. We have on. Oh, I'm gonna butcher his last name, and I feel I'm looking up to see about. So everybody would know him on the Discord as John Ghostling. John Doof. Gonna butcher his name. Let's just call him John because I know his last name, but it's French and well, French-like. I think it's Canadian French. I think it's Dufour. But John's gonna come on and he's gonna talk about his zombie apocalypse game that he wrote. Which is gorgeous. His partner, not his partner, but his partner on the book, did all the artwork for it, and it's super gorgeous. So we're gonna go talk through that next week and just get his opinions on everything. Normally, what's going on? Okay, so D&D and Tencent, that was a big blown out, misconstrued thing this week. It was well, I say this week, last week, because technically today's Tuesday. We haven't really had. I used to have a meat cleaver remote, but I don't remember where I got it from. But they have officially announced D&D is going to be an official partner with Foundry. And they updated the system to do that. I can definitely go through it and show you guys, but it's really gorgeous what they've done. It's broken a lot of things. A lot of modules have been broken. It's a bro flex emote. I mean, that's pretty awesome. But music's distracting me. So Foundry is an official partner with Dungeons and Dragons now, so I wonder if that's going to severely hinder anything else. Right now, it's severely hindered all of the modules that you would use normally for D&D. They pretty much all broke. I hear some of them are getting fixed. I hear some of them are just getting dropped because officially they're going to eventually put those into the official module. So let's take a look at it real quick. Pretty. Display. That's what I've heard too. I've heard that rumors. See this? There it is. That's the one I want. I put myself on there for you guys. So this is an official D&D D&D. It has a nice pause screen, which is kind of cool. But what's really cool is if I create a new player here, new player 2 is playing with us, because I don't actually play D&D anymore. So this is the character sheet. Isn't that pretty? Super pretty. But what's really cool is you can add a race. It has all the SRD ones already in there for you. You can just drag and drop it on there, and it will automatically boost your scores based. Actually, automatically boost your scores based on the race. Yeah, me too. It'll tell you what size you are. It will give you your languages. It will tell you what your abilities are based on that, and then get it. You can add a background, but they only have one background in here so far. I don't know if there's plans on adding more, but there's more in the SRD than just one, so I'm hoping they'll add more. But to get classes, you go to your classes, and you can just drag and drop your classes on here. Drag and drop something that has a lot. We'll do Druid. So it does your hit points for first level. Does your intelligence saving throws. Asks you to pick a ability. Suede, isn't that some kind of shoot? No. It means Savage Worlds Adventure Edition. It's a really great system. Acolyte is the only background officially in the SRD. That sucks. I did not know that. Thank you, Jake. Did not know that. That is really crappy. But you get to choose your starting skills, your languages. It does your armor proficiencies, your weapon proficiencies, your tool proficiencies for you, your features, and then cantrips known. Okay. This is the only problem I have with it. Tells you what you have for spells, but then you have to go over to your spell list, starters, items, spells, and then you have to go into the thing. You have to reference the book, obviously, which not yet. There's rumors. I think they announced that they're going to allow you to possibly rebuy them through Foundry. There's nothing that I've seen that says D connected to this. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Now, that doesn't say that they won't, but right now, nothing that I know of. He is updating it for the new system. That is true. That is in the works. The D&D importer, D&D Beyond importer, but if they're going to be partners, you think they would officially support it somehow. Jake. Like Skyarm. Some of that is up to Watsy. I will give you that. But you think if they became partners, but then again, the partnership might be, hey, we can sell your products on our stuff, and if we sell them, you get a percentage of it. He didn't really announce a lot with this, except that, hey, we're official partners now, and we've updated the system. That is literally all they really said about it. It's a pretty. It's very pretty. Um, so you have your character stuff, you have your inventory, you have your features, you have your spells, you have your conditions and your effects. So if you're grappled, turn grappling on. These don't actually do anything, they're just notification. I think when you see the system update. Now, okay, interesting thing about that, something in the news was they officially announced that the release date is not May like it was rumored to be in at PAX U. At PAX U, kind of got spread around that May was the release date for D&D Next or whatever they're calling it now. They've changed the title 3 times, I think. Um, it hasn't been 3 times. I'm over exaggerating. But not going to be in May. In fact, they said they're not even going to be done with it in May. So we're probably talking if it's going to be this year, we're talking probably late this year from when. But it's a nice character sheet. I won't lie, it's pretty, and it does the job. Um, okay, so that's that. Um, so that was the Foundry news. That they were that they're official partners now. Um, that's pretty much the D&D news. I already went over that they're not coming out in May. Um, yes, there is the new dynamic token borders too. Actually, check that out myself. Um, but doing great. How are you, comic in the cross? Did you design your book layout or did you get an artist help? I designed my own book layout for my book page. That being said, I do technically have a degree in graphic design with a thing in animation. So I do have some knowledge about graphic design. I'm not very good at it though. I'm glad you could stop by too. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Um so okay, so those are the three D&D things that I wanted to talk about. Another thing that we should talk about, and I want to make sure this is known because it's really cool. Um, Humble Bundle has the cyberpunk stuff on their website, which I love. Cyberpunk Red, super great. So if you haven't played Cyberpunk Red, it's well worth the $5. I think $18 they want for it. But it's doing Children's Hospital, um, but super great. Yeah, I'm totally buying it. I haven't really had to buy it yet, but I'm definitely doing it. Paizo announced that they're going to be really revamping the Pathfinder 2E core books and going to be announcing more at Gen Con. They also announced that, and I don't have it listed here, but they also announced that the second edition of Starfinder playtest will be at Gen Con too. So that will be interesting. I chose not to go to Gen Con this year. Instead, I chose to go to Dragon Con. I probably should have gone to Gen Con, it sounds like. Um, then, some really good gamers, game company from Italy. The reason they gave was that they're going to change some rules and they're going to remaster it, basically. Um, but there was going to be some rule changes involved in the PF2 edition change book. So, Player's Handbook and GM Book are out. They are going to get revamped. Again, that is what they said. I know, but that is what they said. Um, Now, I don't know if it's just a modification of things that they found were broken that they need to fix. Um, and I don't even know if they're going to do a physical copy. It might just be they release the digital version of it. But it's definitely going to be at Gen Con, so Gen Con's where they're going to get most of those answers. They are pretty sweet looking. Um, so Two Little Mice, they do an action game called, oh shoot, I'm so horrible with names. I I ch- I was debating. I had enough money to go to one con or the other. So I chose Dragon Con. I think I should have chose Gen Con, but um oh well. I'm sure Dragon Con will be fun too. Um so Two Little Mice does this action game, which I am totally going to be doing a uh you're 1.5 hours from Gen Con. You and tell me you've gone at least. Because if I was 1.5 hours, I'd go every year. Um, Two Little Mice makes this really awesome game that uses Yahtzee. Literally, the Yahtzee mechanic. Like you get number of successes by the number of pairs that you have in the dice. And if you get a full house, you get something special. If you get all sixes, you get something special. They're coming out with a dark horror RPG. It looks really cool. It looks super cool. It has interesting mechanics, which they always have interesting mechanics. I would definitely on my radar to check out. I'm hoping I get a review copy of this. Hint, hint. Two Little Mice. I know we've been talking of a review copy of it. But it's very dark and gruesome. They compare it to like in communications that I've seen, they've compared it to like Dark Souls, like dark and gruesome. And I'm pretty sure it uses a very similar mechanic to the action movies that they have, if I remember correctly. Uses like a Yahtzee type system. So I'm excited for that. I'm gonna back that here probably next paycheck. So we have going on? It's about it. I mean, we have the DCC backer kit, the Purple Planet. They got a whole bunch of publishers. Goodman Games got a whole bunch of publishers together to make zines for DCC, and then they're publishing them in this kit. So that seems really cool. Saying a lot, and I apologize. The last thing I wanted to do is just something that's dear to my heart. I follow her on TikTok, and she does these cafe latte, the urban fantasy type coffee shop skits, and she's coming out with a book. And she's a very well-known author. She's made a couple other books, but she has one that's really going. This is the Iron Heart, the cafe latte book. But she's great. If you don't follow her, look up Cafe Latte on TikTok. You'll find her. She's hilarious and funny. But that was it. Like there wasn't much news this past week, which not surprising. It's Gen Con hasn't happened. Yeah. So I foresee we'll get some news eventually here soon. So how's everybody else doing? Like, how's your games going? Are you playing? Are you not playing? Do you need to get into a game? Um, my Saturday group, I play a rabbit folk paladin who walks around with a tortoise. The Game of Thrones system is kind of cool. Yes. I'm glad they're branching out from 5e. I think a lot of people are branching out from 5e. I'm full-heartedly into, because 5e is not the best gaming system out there. It's not even close. A couple review copies of things that I have. Ad Astra from which is the Mutant Year Zero update. I have a review copy of that, which I can say I have a review copy of that. So I'm going to try to get a review of that, but I have to read Mutant Year Zero because I've never read Mutant Year Zero. I know about it, but I haven't read it. So I'm reading through Mutant Year Zero, and then I'm going to do Ad Astra, and I can officially tell you today that I got a review copy of the bestiary for Dragonbane, which, if you guys have never played Dragonbane is so much fun. It's it's Dungeons and Dragons if Dungeons and Dragons was a reasonable game. Um, it is a rolled under system, unlike Dungeons and Dragons. So your target is to roll under what your score is. But besides that, it's very similar. It does have boons and banes. PBT, Powered by the Apocalypse. The only experience I have with Powered by the Apocalypse is City of Mist, and I was impressed with it, but it wasn't for my players. My players didn't get the concepts of it. That makes sense. Sometimes you have to give up what you like for your players' health. I wasn't good DM for it either. A lot of that falls on me. Because I couldn't break out of my mindset and mechanic based DMing. I mean, I do a lot of narrative in my worlds, but Powered by the Apocalypse requires another level of narrative that I don't do as well as some other DMs. That being said, I think Dungeon World looks really interesting, and I would love to play in a game of Dungeon World. That's on my list of games to try this year. So I think that's the thing, is I want to try Dungeon World because people say the best introduction to Powered by the Apocalypse is Dungeon World or Kids on Bikes. Because I think Kids on Bikes uses it, right? Now I'm what's there's another one that is about teenagers that uses Powered by the Apocalypse. Yeah, Kids on Bikes has its own system. You're right. I'm sorry. Uh oh, that's gonna irritate me. Uh doesn't help me drive through RPG. Um DMS Dungeon World. Oh, Mask. Mask. I was thinking of Mask. And Avatar uses Powered by the Apocalypse. I'd like to try that too. I'm a huge fan of Aberon. I'm less of a fan of Suede now that I've ran it a few times. It has a lot of problems. Yeah, but the problem with Suede in the Pathfinder version is it's just too overpowered for the actual system. Like the system, they're forcing the Pathfinder version into the system. Really feels forced in there. Like they cram it in. Like it doesn't feel like it flows with the system. It feels like it's being pushed into the system. Because the nuance to Suede is that it's very fast and quick paced. I think the players feel too powerful in the Pathfinder, but I haven't actually ran it either. I ran it as a homebrew system on the channel, which is backlogs on YouTube. So, but I find that Suede has a lot of vague rules that need to be clarified. I guess is the best way of explaining it. And I don't know if that fully explains my issues with Suede. It's not that Suede's a bad system. I think Suede's a good system. I don't think it's a system for me, but I think it's a good system. I'd rather play a Power by the Apocalypse game, honestly, over Suede. If I had to choose between the two, it would be let's do a Power by the Apocalypse. Monster of the Week is something I want to try. But I don't want to run it. I want somebody else to run it. That being said, I think. Oh my! Well, it's what I had. This is what I just got. This one. This I kickstarted it. Between the Clouds. It's a Mutant Year Zero engine game, but unlike 95% of the Mutant Year Zero games, it seems friendly and happy, which doesn't really mix with that system. But it's very very inclusive, I guess is the best word of saying it. I still have to read it, but it's on my list of things to read. I cannot wait to play Mutant Year. It's probably going to be the next one shot that I run. It's a Mutant Year Zero. Just because I want to try it. I wanted to try Mortborg, and Pirate Borg has taken care of that for me. So Mutant Year Zero. If anybody wants to run it for me, we can stream it on the place. I just don't know if I want to run it. You can't. Make sure you get the can't. Yeah. You can't breed, and your people are dying, and you're starving to death. Welcome to the world of Mutant Year Zero. You know, it sounds fun to me. It really does. It sounds super fun to me. It's on my list of things to try, and the reason why I want to try it is, doesn't the Alien RPG use it? Yeah, the Alien RPG uses it, and the Walking Dead system uses it. The engine, yeah. So I'd like to try those games too. Okay, so Forgotten. I thought Forgotten Lands was its own some odd reason. Yes, it's not. Okay. All things I plan on reading and going over. Um, but yeah, so it's being used in a lot of systems. Um, and it's the stress mechanic that they're using to great success, from what I hear. I don't know. I haven't played in it. It's on my list of things to play. Maybe at Dragon Con I'll be able to play one. I won't be at Dragon Con as a news reporter, so I have to do as much networking. So play more games. I hope. See. Because I want to do networking too, even though I'm not technically media. I did apply for media for PAX East, but I don't think I'm going to get into it. I haven't replied back, and it's in March, so. It is what cons are for, is networking. I 100% agree on that. I'm hoping they have some free tables. I did get my PAX U very late, so see what happens. It could happen any day now that I get PAX East. But PAX East is a little bit more tricky because it's more of a video game con than it is a role-playing board game con. So we'll see. It's in Boston though, so if I get it like last minute, that's not a problem. You're doing all right networking. You're part of the. There's one coming up in Vermont too. A con or a PAX? Not a PAX con. Oh, a con. Yeah, Vermont's pretty close too. Doug Shoot is going to it. Oh, maybe I'll try to make it to it because I'd like to get out there more. Start making some more networking. Get some people on the show. Not April 12th or 14th. No, I am going to your con April 12th or 14th. I still can't say the con, by the way. I've tried several times. Trying to get the website up. Like Worcestershire. Yep. Yes, like Worcestershire sauce. It's just one of those things that my speech impediment doesn't let me say. Cleese. So Celsius. Celsius term. See, told you. See, I can't say it. I tried. But it's happening in New Jersey. So if you're in the New Jersey area, New Jersey, Pennsylvania border area, it's April 14th, 12th through the 14th. I'm going to be doing a speech there. I'm going to be running a whole bunch of games there. It should be a lot of fun. Tickets may be on sale tomorrow. You got to get those tickets on sale, man. I can't spread the word without tickets on sale. You know, Dread Maps might stop by. That's the reason why we don't have a Grimwoodgames for Easy D6 yet, is I'm still waiting to set up my LLC. My LLC hasn't gone through yet, so I can get a bank account. That, and I want to see what's going on with the Wasted Worlds, because if Wasted Worlds changes a lot, I might end up rewriting Easy D6 version of Grimwood City. Like if he off, I know that he's doing vehicle combat and he's doing vehicle enhancements. So, excuse me. I want to do vehicle enhancements. So if he doesn't have the vehicle enhancements I want, I'll put them in the Easy D6 book. And if his leveling system is as cool as he seems to say it is, I might have to rewrite the system to include it. So, see, I wish it would come out so I could buy it. It's on my definitely on my wish list. I wish we could have pre-ordered it, but Drive Through the RPG doesn't do pre-orders. I mean, I'm waiting for Wasted World. I am definitely waiting for Wasted World. That's one of the reasons why I haven't published it yet. Well, that and publishing your first book on Drive Through takes a while. I'm so jealous that you got a copy. Yeah, I got them on first, but you got a copy of Wasted Worlds. I might have got them on first, but you got the copy, so I think I should message him and be like, dude, um, but it's definitely it looks cool. If I do any like apocalyptic Mad Max type situation, it sounds like I'm gonna be doing it. That being said, after Grimwood City, I'm debating about two different types of worlds to create. I am thinking of either a fantasy world, which everybody does, so that's less intriguing to me. Um, the second thing that I would like to do is a what was it? Oh no, don't flutter out of my mind, stupid brain. Um, what was it? It was such a cool idea. I didn't write it down. Did I tell you, DM Tales, what I wanted to do after Grimwood? Can't remember if I did or not. Um, no, it wasn't Weird West. It wasn't anything to do with like weirdness. Oh, bummer. It will come back to me, I'm sure. But oop, why did that not play? Did it play for you guys and just not me? Oh, it played for you? Okay. Just didn't play for me. That's fine if it doesn't. Oh, I had my headphones down because of the music. It was driving me crazy. That's why it didn't play for me. Um, but I definitely want to do something else from after Grimwood. So if you guys have any ideas that what you would want to see, let me know. Um, but I definitely want to do a second book, and I want to do it in my um my system that I have going on, which I've come up with a name for. It's going to be called the Ironbound system, RPG system. Ironbound RPG system. It's gonna be a cool system, and I can't wait to get it in more people's hands. Um, show the logo. Yeah, I can show the logo. Gonna take. Come on, computer. So this is gonna be the logo for it. Yeah. Um. Okay. I don't know if I'm gonna do fantasy. There was another option here, and I can't remember what it was. I kind of want to do something that's not done often, but I'd like to get a fantasy one out there too. It is slightly different than the one I showed you. Yes, but this is the one I'm gonna go with. In fact, uh, this is the cover to the system. So this is going to be the front and back cover of the system, which would look. Uh, so you get your vampire, and then you get your celestial, and then yeah, so that's what the cover is going to be. For Grimwood's both Grimwood for easy D. Well, Grimwood for easy D6 is going to be slightly different, but it's going to be very similar. But yeah, so that's what I got going on. Been doing a lot. I gotta start my next world, whatever that world's gonna be. Because I gotta finish writing the GM stuff for my system. But and John was so nice. John Ghost Defer. I'm gonna screw up his name, so I feel bad. He's not even here to defend himself. Um, he looked at my system and gave me some really good notes on it. Some things that I forgot to change because I changed a mechanic and I forgot to change it other places. And then just general, hey, this sounds weird to me and that type of thing. I've given it to other people, but they've been too busy. Then again, I keep updating it too. So it's not really your fault. And I haven't kept you up to date. So but uh anybody who is interested in reading it and giving me their opinions, I would gladly accept them because I have lots of things that I know that need to be fixed in it. Um, the English I'm not so worried about. That's what I have an editor for. But I am worried that things don't make sense, so I'm trying to get that all worked out. So yeah, that's all I got. Do you guys want to talk about anything? Anything particular? I know, but I can't afford to pay the editor twice. So she's reasonably priced, but it's one of those situations where in the English isn't horrible because she's already gone through most of it because I'm using a lot of the same stuff from Grimwood for ECD6 and she's already gone through Grimwood. Um, so it's mainly the mechanic system that she hasn't touched. Um, and two locations. I added two new locations. Which I should probably sit down and actually go through English wise for myself. Um, so that's what I've been up to. Have any other news? That was pretty much all the news. Uh, what other TTRPGs has everybody? Oh, who? John. Um, I really gotta get this name. John Dufour. John Dufour is the name. He wrote a zombie apocalypse game that is super colorful and amazing, and I can't wait to finish reading it before I get him on, which I will do. Um, but it's really fun. It looks like a fun system to play. I did read most of the mechanics on the system. I do have drive through. Let me see out so I can show it. Um, yeah, I got it right here. Hold on one sec. Pull that up. So this is the. Oh, I clicked on the wrong one. That's all right. So this is the system that they have. Um, it's super colorful and super well done layout wise. I'm very excited to read it. It's basically it has stat system that uses a condition track. So it looks pretty interesting. I think paid DMing's fine. Personally, I don't think I'm good enough for people to pay me to be a DM. But that's just my insecurities coming to play. Um, I will fair warn you, DM Tales. It did end up using AI art, so you probably won't want to buy this one because I know how you feel about AI art. They modified it heavily, but yeah. Um, but as far as paid DMing Sage, I think it's fine. I think it's great for most people. Um, I don't think I'm ever going to charge for my DMing skills because, but then again, I'm getting up there, so maybe I might. I don't know. Now, mind you, they basically use the AIR as uh, templates for their actual art. So it's not necessarily direct AI art because they heavily modified these things. AI art does not do stuff like this. They had to modify it to get the kind of light and substance that they want. I know. You computers are going to take over the world. Um, but it was their first rodeo, and doing main after doing uh paying for art, it's expensive. Art is very expensive. I've spent almost let's see, I've spent 600 for artist. No, more than 600. Or like 800 for artist. And then I've probably paid a good $400 in stock art for my system. Hey, I have some friends who are DMing paid DMs and they're doing well. Um I just don't know. I play too much off the cuff of my hands. Um I play too much too too much off the cuff of my hands. I don't have enough story structure built into my systems. My story comes from the players, and sometimes that doesn't lead to finishing within a certain amount of time. Since I, it's a lot of work to be a GM, and it's even more so. I thought about doing it. I really have. Um, I don't know if I'd be any good. You guys tell me. You guys have seen my DM style. Yes, it is. It's very. I have my Friday night game. I have my Sunday games every other Sunday. Um I have a Saturday game that I do every other Saturday. I'm looking at starting playing in a Wednesday game. Um, that will probably be streaming here. It's going to be a Call of Cthulhu. So, and we're looking for players. So, if you're interested in Wednesday night at 8 p.m. playing a Call of Cthulhu game, I'm not DMing. I'm playing, but it will be streamed on my network. Honestly, if I was to do professional gaming, it would be easy D6. Um, See, that's the problem, Sage. I don't do music. I don't load up a whole bunch of music into my games. I don't. I'm a really lazy DM, honestly, and just to have anybody willing to play in my games, I'm amazed because I'm very lazy. What's nice about Easy D6, you could easily do one shots and do a couple one shots with a couple people one evening, and then you're not doing a whole session that people will keep coming back for. So you're constantly getting a whole bunch of new players. You know, there are diceless systems, Eskillen. I've never been good at music because I'm not musically inclined to begin with. Not that I don't want to be musically inclined, but I sing like a dying rabbit. Literally dying. I've had training and I still sing like a dead, dying rabbit. There are deck building styled gaming. There's one called oh, oh crap. It's gonna drive me crazy that I can't think of it. Never set up music. If I play music, it's because I randomly thought about doing it at that time. You know, I use Foundry too. I just never hit the button. I just never think of it. Like, I don't think about setting it up while setting up scenes. No, I suppose I should. But the problem is, a lot of times I'm using other people's maps. I'm not using my own maps, so I forget. And they're usually already pre-built with walls and stuff. So it's like I'm not even setting up those either. Lost music from Sea of Stars. Oh, and another thing, I have to make sure it's copyright-free music because I stream most of my games. Put it in Discord. DM Tales, you should join my Discord. You haven't even joined my Discord yet. Oh, you're not part of my Discord. Oh, that is interesting, Frog. The Frog just sent me a link. What TTRPG? I don't know. You've never have, and it wasn't a big deal to me. Um, yeah, just post it in Discord. Well, that way DM Tales actually has to join my Discord. Frog just posted a thing that they've first functional human brain tissue produced with a 3D printer happened this week. Um, that's pretty cool. They used a 3D printer to horizontally bioprint tissue based on. That's pretty cool. I don't know how you weren't a part of EZD6, and I'm not sure how you weren't part of my Discord. You know if it's copyright free, Sage? Oh, there you go. You just start making them. I thought of the best type of character that I want to play in a game. I want to play as a possessed character that has an item that is allows me to possess these bodies. And if I lost that item or I died and one of the other characters picked it up, I'd want to take their character sheet and be like, "Oh, I'm possessed you now." I saw it on a TikTok and I totally want to do it. Isn't that a great idea? Be so great. Like to have the character die and then have them pick up the item that he was carrying, and that item allows you to possess that character and you just take their character sheet. It would suck for the other character, but it'd be super cool. Like you accidentally drop the weapon, and suddenly you have no idea what's going on or what's going on, and they hand you the weapon back, and suddenly you're back into the combat. Be so much fun. Big Bad could kill you and then pick up your item, and then you could technically become the Big Bad. Would have to be like will you'd have to have like will saves or something like that, depending on the system. In my system, it would be a mental check, and it would be your mental check versus my mental check, or the Big Bad Evil Guy's mental check versus my mental check. But I think it would be totally fun to play. So that's on my list of things to. That's going to be my next character. I don't care what system I'm playing in. It's going to be my next system. Well, no, it's not going to be my Call of Cthulhu character, but the next system after that, whatever the system is, I'm going to try. Uh, Character voices. I don't do enough character voices. That would be my that and music would be my weakest assets as a GM. I have pretty good stories going on, and I have pretty good characters for you to interact with. But I could do better voices. Ironically, the funny thing is, I do voices all the time. I just don't do them when I DM. I actually have quite a few voices in my pocket. Just don't do them. I don't think of them. I'm too busy thinking of six other things at the same time to think of the voice for that character. I have a few characters that I do voices for in Grimwood City, and that's me. I definitely do voices for me. Um, so, okay, here's a question that got brought up on a TikTok that I was watching. Um, should men GMs play women? And I'm on the saying of, yeah, we should play any character that's needed. But then, so the thought process here is that what if you play it offensive by accident or on purpose? Say the GM's doing it on purpose. Like, there are some DMs that will not play a female character. I'm not one of them. I will play a female character, no problem. I agree that they're a dick. Don't get me wrong. Um, but it was brought up. It was just a thought process that I had with someone, and they were like, "Well, I'm too afraid that I'm going to make a female that's not." They said that, not me. Um, that I'm going to make a character that is disrespectful, even though I'm not trying to. That I don't play women. And I'm like, but how do you get away with that? You have to have NPC women. That's just as bad as playing a bad one. Yeah, I was Han too, but it was on a TikTok, so I didn't really respond. Um, but I thought I would throw it up to you guys and see what you guys thought. Basically, an overcorrection, and overcorrections in themselves can be. It's kind of like not playing. I'm a white guy, not playing a guy of any other race. It's like, I'm sorry, I'm the GM. I'm going to play NPCs. Now, am I going to do a stereotypical Mexican or a stereotypical? No, that's just not fair. Not, you kind of play the character as the character would be, not do a stereotypical. Try to get better than that. So, but that's my thought process. We welcome yours. Um, yeah, yeah. Just run it. Just run it as a person. What does this person want? What do they need? And where are they going? And how are they going to get it? It's all the four questions you really have to ask: who, what, when, and why. You can answer those about the character, and then you're playing the character fine. Well, yeah, but your motive, ideal, and goal is dependent on what you want, how you're going to get it, and why do you want it. Okay, agreed. I wasn't trying to say want. What does this woman want that way? I was saying what is their motive? What do they want in life? What are their goals and ambitions? Paige said it best. It's motive, ideal, and goal. That would be a better way of putting it. But I do that with all my NPCs. What do they want from the players? How can they get it from the players? And where are they going? You know, yeah, pretty much. I mean, you change everything else. Everything else can change. You just need to know what the character's motive, ideals, and goals are, and how they're going to do it. Me wanted a red shoe. He wanted a shoe. When I first introduced me, that was my only goal and thought process was he wanted a shoe from the party. I got two of them. That is the reason why Escalum you have a session 0 to talk about things like that. Where and you do consent forms to find out where exactly their boundaries lie. So you don't push the boundaries, you just come close. I 100% use consent forms on most of my games. If I've played with the players a lot, then I don't usually do the consent forms because I know where their boundaries lie anyways. But if they're new players that I've never played with before, I 100% do consent form. And I've had players gawk at it and be like, why are you doing this? And I just state where the boundaries are and then ask what other folks do or do not want to cover. Since I run a PG-13, it's rare issue. I pretty much run a PG-13 system. I found that if I did a consent form, everybody is filling it out and saying this is what I want from the game. They tend not to be such dick players because they're thinking about what everybody else filled out for the form. Um, because I do go over the forms. I don't say who or what. I just say this subject was brought up, so we'll avoid this subject. Personally, I'm afraid of spiders, so I prefer it when you don't have spiders in the game. But as long as it's a quick battle with spiders, I'm okay with spiders. But if you're going to have me go through months worth of spiders, I'm not going to. I just find forums being a little bit more formal. People take them a little bit more seriously. Yeah, a lot of people don't like clowns either. Um, I got my forum that I'm using for most of my games, I get it from Monty Cook. Monty Cook has a really good one. Main one that I use. Okay, folks. I am going to go hang out with my wife because she's had a rough day. Let's see who is going on that we can raid and get. Oh, Wonderlust is going. Let's go say hi to Wonderlust. He's a good guy. Oh, you guys are talking. I don't want to break you guys up. Learn to know people before they approach the table. That's why I do forums. It allows me to learn strangers beforehand. If I know the players I'm playing with, I have no problems with playing without a forum, and I do have a conversation saying this is how we're going to play this game. But if I've never played with you before, as long as not at a con, I tend to have a form to fill out. Like if it's going to be a whole session of sessions, I just find it easier. Yeah. Let's go to Wonderlust. You guys have a great night. Thank you so much for stopping by. Is playing Dungeons and Dragons, so let's go say hi to him. All right, let's have a great night, guys, and thanks so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. You don't know how much it means to me.